Coming up on the Extra Point, we'll show you how a regional runner is adapting to race cancellations.
And we'll also discuss the finals of our one-on-one Twitter poll.
The Extra Point.
Welcome into the Extra Point. I'm Matthew Hargrove with my boy Ryan Good. Now, me and Ryan, this is our first time doing the Extra Point together. We always do Red Zone Radio, but I haven't seen Ryan since spring break, not person to person. I've been just talking to him, for fun on the phone. But I love that we're doing the Extra Point. I wish we could do it in person to person, but this will just have to do for our first time.
Exactly. I mean, like you said, it's been almost a month since I've seen you face-to-face. And as we expected, I was scheduled to have this be right next to you in the studio. And obviously, due to COVID-19, we're going to have to do it separately. But it's still going to be a great show.
Yeah, and I love the Western Kentucky hat in the back. You're representing the school well. Meanwhile, if I lift up my camera, I got good old Carmelo Anthony in the back, which that represents the nation well, because technically he is the greatest USA basketball player to ever live. If you look at the stats, he's better than Jordan and LeBron for Olympic basketball.
See, that's just not true. Meanwhile, like you said, WKU right here, that is home. That's me representing what the school I go to. You, meanwhile, are representing someone that you've dreamed about meeting your entire life, who's just, average as an NBA player.
Yeah, well, the white walls, the blank walls at the Hargrove house are hard to find. So the mellow wallpaper will have to do. But let's get into some WKU sports news. First of all, with this amazing story, spring is a popular time for marathons and races nationwide. COVID-19 has postponed some of the biggest races in the country, like the Boston Marathon and the Derby Marathon here in the state. Reporter Jillian Ryan talked to a marathon runner that is having to adapt to races being canceled.
This year, I was originally signed up to do 7. 4 were supposed to be this spring, that have all been canceled or postponed, and then 3 in the fall.
The 4 that you have that have been postponed, when is your next one that you think will still be on schedule for this year?
So right now, my next race will be August 22nd, and that'll be the Derby Festival Half Marathon in Louisville.
So with not having so many races until then, how has your training changed?
Right now, kind of knowing that I have 4 months instead of a couple of weeks, if I'm just not feeling it one day, then I'll sleep in. I won't get up and run. Not going to be taking it as seriously with what I'm eating and drinking and things like that. Kind of like, if I ran 5 miles a couple of days ago, and tomorrow I'll probably do 5 or 6. But again, it's not really strictly counting it as much, and just due to all this craziness.
What advice would you give to other runners that are in your position right now?
Biggest thing, probably just keep running some, because it is hard to stop and then pick back up. So get out and run, whether it's in the morning, afternoon, whatever. Gives us an excuse to get out of the house that we're all stuck in. Gives us a reason to get out and go, stay a little bit in shape. So I definitely just encourage anybody who runs or is even thinking about running. Now's a great time to pick up the hobby.
Haler's goal is to complete 100 half marathons before he retires from running. He has 89 races left to go to complete that goal. For the Extra Point, I'm Jillian Ryan.
Perhaps one of the best Cinderella stories of all time goes to the number 16 seed, WKU's Big Red.
2 weeks ago today, the SiriusXM College Sports Twitter page released their 64-team Best Mascot bracket to be voted on by the fans in polls. The only problem? 2 notable omissions: BYU's Cosmo the Cougar and WKU's Big Red. The 2 were later added as 16 seeds forced to play in play-in games, and coincidentally enough, the 2 ended up matching up in the championship round voted on over the past 2 days. Big Red's run has served as a breath of fresh air for the WKU sports department, bringing new and original content to life over the past 2 weeks.
We've got a group text, so the amount of ideas that get absolutely just thrown at the wall, and we're just seeing what sticks, what would be great, what would be funny. It's just crazy.
Big Red's run to the national championship round has involved knocking off some of the biggest programs in the country, including LSU, Tennessee, and Oklahoma. Surprising to some, Big Red's polls constantly got the most interaction out of every matchup in each round.
I think it just kind of goes to show that, I mean, mascot or athlete, it doesn't matter how much money you've got to throw at it, that there's a special breed out there, from our fans to our athletes, and just the amount and extent that they're willing to go above and beyond.
While Big Red wasn't able to capture the national championship, it was able to rally the WKU community together once more. For that, perhaps, we'll soon see a Final Four banner for Big Red hanging inside of Diddle Arena.
Redshirt senior Dee Givens has been named as a Conference USA Spirit of Service winner. The honor recognizes one athlete at each conference school per playing season. This award honors student athletes who are greatly involved in community service, display excellence in academics, as well as noteworthy athletic accomplishments. As a Hilltopper, Givens earned Conference USA First Team honors and defensive team, leading the conference with a single-season record in steals. While playing for WKU, she graduated with her bachelor's and master's degree in recreation and sport administration. She also volunteered for organizations such as Feeding America, Warren County Humane Society, Stuff the Bus, and recreational wheelchair basketball. Coming up on the Extra Point, we'll talk about the results of the one-on-one tournament poll.
And we'll keep the Extra Point tradition going when we go for two.
When I was your age, I was just like you, fascinated by stars. But now I get to search for life in the universe. And who knows, maybe life is looking for us too.
So we're like aliens to them?
Yeah. Does anyone want to be a scientist now?
I do.
Awesome. We need more girls in STEM.
Maybe we can find aliens.
Honorary Forest Ranger Betty White here, lending a hand to my dear friend Smokey Bear. Because for 75 years, he's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But there's a lot more to say. Like if you park your car on tall, dry grass, the hot exhaust pipe can start a wildfire. So keep the animals safe, especially the cute shirtless one. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique.
And your mother and...
I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
Here's to the things that can keep us safe. Those we use all the time with hardly a thought. Those that are silently standing by to save our lives. And now, those that we carry with us everywhere we go. Many mobile devices will now bring you wireless emergency alerts, real-time information directly from local sources you know and trust. With the unique sound and vibration, you'll be in the know wherever you are.
Welcome back to the Extra Point, and it is time now to go over the Extra Points one-on-one tournament. And this is how it looks right now. We made it to the championship round, Ryan. We got the big dogs going up against each other. So on the men's, absolutely. So on the men's side, we got Charles Bassey going up against Tavion Hollingsworth. Now, this is freshman Tavion. Tavion's winning. I don't care if he was playing LeBron James. Freshman Tavion is a different beast on the court. And then on the women's side, we got Whitney Creech and Dee Givens. So before we go to the men, I want to talk about the women's bracket. And we'll get into the Whitney D matchup here soon. But what in the world? Raneem getting no love. So the votes came in, and Dee Givens, it was 94% Dee Givens. People are out here disrespecting the Egyptian queen like that? Oh, my goodness. This woman's about to put up 40 and 40 next year. I'm sorry. I keep cutting you off. Go ahead and speak.
I'm just saying the disrespect was real. I mean, the fact that it was 7% or 6%, whatever it was.
That's awful. That's awful.
It's ridiculous. I
She's
mean,
a walking double-double
player, and there's nothing to take away from her. But Raneem is putting 40 on D. Gibbons' head any given night.
Now, I talked to you about this a lot, and I want to make the Raneem and D. Gibbons comparison kind of to like the Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic comparison. Yes, I'm bringing back my Denver Nuggets, my guy. One-on-one, Jamal Murray may win is probably okay. I may be stretching it a little bit, but this reminds me a lot of Murray and Jokic. Okay. One-on-one for D and Raneem. D is just more skilled. Raneem's crafty, don't get me wrong, but D is too good of a shooter. She's going to drive past her every single time, and Raneem doesn't have a huge height advantage on D. So I definitely agree that D would win, but it's not going to be a blowout.
I think it'd be a lot closer than people are giving Raneem credit for. And, of course, leave it to you to bring it up your Denver Nuggets. That Nikola Jokic just beating Jamal Murray 12 times.
Yeah, I was trying to find a comparison, and I got to speak, and I was like, well, wait a minute. The Joker would.
You've managed to bring up the Denver Nuggets and Carmelo Anthony in this episode.
Yeah, that was my goal. We got 2 check marks. That shows 100. It's perfect now.
But for the Charles and Tavion matchup, obviously we're going to go with a healthy Charles, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So
because he's got the height advantage.
It's an easy bucket every time if you give it to him in the post. The question is he's got to get there, and his ball handling skills are kind of meh. So, I'm actually going to go with Tavion as the winner of that one.
Okay, I thought you were going to go with Charles. Man, I love Tavion, but we know that he's a inconsistent shooter. And, yeah, he may have everything going for him, but Charles is just going to back him down into the paint, and he will score every single time. And I truly do believe he will shoot 90-95% in that 1v1 game. Is Tavion going to shoot that well?
You know Charles, and you know he's going to put up at least 1 3-pointer just to show his versatility.
That's fair.
And he's going to miss it. And my thing is, Tavion's a lot quicker than Charles, so he's getting to the rim every time that he wants to.
Not that much quicker. We're talking about an NBA talent. We're talking about an NBA
We're talking about a center versus a
Tavion
guard.
Could, but Charles is there.
Tavion's at worst an overseas player, and he's a guard versus a center. There's no way he's not beating him off the dribble every time that he goes to the rim. That's just how it is. And Tavion's mid-range is just as good as Charles' post-up game. So you can't give me that.
Oh, do not say that. Oh, my gosh, Ryan Good. Now, if we got to coach these guys,
okay,
that's where if you were coaching Tavion, I was coaching Charles, I would make sure that Charles knows, listen,
no shot outside of 5 feet.
Shoot the ball outside of the red paint area.
Right.
That is where you live. If you shoot a 3, I will bench you, even though that's impossible to do because it's a one-on-one tournament, but I will find a way to do it. But, yeah, those matchups are intriguing. Charles versus Tavion. Obviously, the Charles-Jared Savage one I thought was interesting because maybe if Jared gets hot, but again, he's too inconsistent of a shooter.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen that. Obviously, none of this is all hypothetical here. But,
yeah, this is not happening. We're not filming this at all.
But it would have been nice. I do think that Jared would have put up a better thing than what they gave him. I mean, Charles blew him out of the water in the poll, but I think if, like you said, if Jared got hot, he could have easily won that one.
Yeah,
he's a bigger guy and he can take Charles down low more than Tavion can.
Yeah,
so maybe it's not 95% that Charles is going to hit his shots on them. Then it is.
No, it's 95. It's up there. Moving on to the women's bracket, we got Whitney Creech going up against Dee Gibbons, and Whitney Creech has been one of the most impressive women's basketball players I've ever seen of the past 2 years, if we're talking about improvement, especially with her shot. But Dee Gibbons, I saw something about Dee Gibbons. It was talking about her in the WNBA draft. I saw it on Twitter, but it had her as the 6th highest ranked small forward going into the draft. And I didn't know that a lot of teams had Dee Givens on their radar. I don't know how deep the WNBA is going to be with small forwards this year. But I was saying Whitney Creech, great turnaround with her shot, like I said, in the past couple of years. But Dee Givens is running Whitney Creech. I love me some Whitney Creech basketball. But Dee Givens is the better shooter. She'll beat her. She's just better all around at every single thing. Whitney Creech is a good floor general, but that does not help you in 1v1 basketball.
And my thing is, I don't know how we got to this point to where Raneem seemed to be a lower seed than Whitney Creech was. That's besides the point. But I do think it's going to be a bigger blowout than Raneem's was.
Wow,
like,
100%.
100-0 or 97-3. That's what I'm looking at right now.
Yeah.
Because Dee Givens is just an overall better talent all around as a player. Yeah. And Whitney Creech, I mean, she's a great player, crafty, but she's more of a point guard, a natural point guard. She gets assists. She kind of helps her teammates out. She's not really a one-on-one type of player like Dee Givens is.
Yeah, and for Whitney Creech to make the championship round, she had to go up against Alexis Brewer, and all the votes picked Whitney Creech, and I was very surprised by that because Alexis Brewer is a good three-point shooter. She's a better shooter than Whitney Creech is, arguably. So if Alexis Brewer gets hot from downtown, I think that should have been close to 50-50.
I don't know about 50-50, maybe 75-25, but because, I mean, Alexis Brewer's handle is not where Whitney Creech is.
Yeah, she's a spot-up shooter. Yeah.
But so you got to kind of create your own shot, and that's the hard part about this one-on-one.
With all that being said, we're going to take a break. So after the break, we'll go for 2 solid minutes on the Michael Jordan documentary coming out this Sunday. Oh, boy, am I excited for this one. Stay tuned.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Touchdown! Oh, did you see that? Whoa, we scored? Yeah, we scored. We're going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone. What? I should take your phone away. No. I'll call for a ride. Wait, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what? Yep, that's mine.
Kevin, I need that back.
No.
Kevin!
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother,
yes.
You, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
breathe right into your foot,
your plumber's masseuse,
yes,
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Because of you, I felt hopeless.
I know it was a joke, but it still hurt me.
Because of you, I felt wanted and not alone in this world.
Because you said hi to me on the first day of school, I felt included, and I knew that I was going to be okay.
It is time now for Going for Two, and what we are going to be talking about is the Michael Jordan documentary coming out this Sunday, a 10-part series. We're getting 2 parts on Sunday, 2 hours of MJ. Ryan, what are your thoughts?
I mean, like you said, it's arguably one of the greatest players of all time, and a 10-part documentary series about that. There's nothing that can go wrong.
Oh, my. Yeah.
Except for the fact that we have a couple rivalries that are taking place. One thing I want to see is the gambling problem that he had. I want to see how they kind of work around that and what they talk about it with. The baseball, why he left. How he could have won 8 straight instead of 6 or 3, and then 2-year gap and then 3 again. And the one thing that I hope, and I hope it's in there, is an interview or an excerpt of Kobe talking about how he idolized him and grew up watching him and wanted to be like him. And we all know Kobe's passed away, and rest in peace to him. But I hope there's an interview with him before he went away.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be something special for them in that 10th part to show Kobe talking about, oh, man, that would bring tears to my eyes. But what I am most excited about to see in this documentary is Isaiah Thomas and those bad boy Pistons, that rivalry between the Detroit Pistons and the Chicago Bulls. Isaiah Thomas always talking that smack, saying, man, the Pistons should have been that dynasty. They should have won 6 rings. I don't know about that. I mean, MJ, you got Scottie Pippen. Good Lord, that Bulls team was insane. Phil Jackson at the helm. But I am really looking forward to see if they got an interview with Isaiah Thomas talking about that entire rivalry. It'll be amazing. I can't wait to watch it. That's all the time we have for today here on The Extra Point. As always, it's up.
And it's good.
Have a great weekend, everyone.